Snow-capped mountains tower above the mainland. Thick forests cover much of the island, and brown bears roam the open spaces along the coast. Waves constantly crash against the rocky shore. This is Kodiak, a remote island with harsh weather and rugged terrain. Some call it the Emerald Isle, others call it the Rock. But it is a serious physical and mental challenge for anyone who comes here. Decades ago, 3 large bear pelts were displayed on the wall of an old cannery in Olga Bay. The image spread throughout the hunting world, making Kodiak a prime destination for those looking to hunt some of the largest bears on Earth. Kodiak's history is woven with the Alutiiq people, who thrived here for millennia. Living off the land and sea, their culture revered the bear as a symbol of strength. Today, sparse agriculture, small cattle ranches and hayfields dot the island. But its true bounty is the salmon that flood its rivers. This abundance shapes the brown bear, fueling its massive size and nomadic habits as it roams from streams to meadows in search of fish and forage. The brown bear of Kodiak is a product of its environment. Salmon runs provide protein, while agricultural scraps, grasses, and even occasional livestock supplement their diet. This rich food supply breeds bears of legendary size, some exceeding 10 feet. Yet it also draws them closer to human settlements, fostering bold, opportunistic behaviour. The bear's survival hinges on its cunning, making it a formidable quarry for any hunter. Hunting Kodiak bears stirs a profound moral conflict. To take a life so majestic is both a triumph and a burden. Hunters revere the bear's strength, yet face the weight of ending it. Conservation balances this act with strict quotas that protect bear populations, ensuring their survival. For the hunter, the pursuit is not just a chase, but a meditation on respect, survival, and the delicate harmony between man and nature. The hunt demands meticulous preparation. The hunter equips himself for Kodiak's rough rain, cold and treacherous terrain. He studies the land, mapping bear trails and salmon streams. Strategy is key, glassing from ridges to spot bears, using calls to mimic sows in heat and stalking silently through alders. Patience is his greatest weapon, as mature boars often hide in snowy basins, emerging only when instinct compels them. The hunter climbed a steep ridge, the wind whipping against him, slowing his steps. In his pack were a rifle, a rangefinder, and binoculars, standard equipment for hunting the giant bears of Kodiak. After days of unsuccessful sightings and tracking, he finally spotted movement. A giant 9-foot bear charging through the underbrush. He kept his cool, steadied his rifle, and waited for the right moment. One accurate shot, the bear fell. Walking toward the fallen animal, he placed a hand on the bear, touching its thick hide, a sense of accomplishment.
Face down.
The chase was long, the work brutal, but it was over in seconds. It was more than a trophy. It was a piece of this island I would carry forever. A hidden crisis is spreading across America's farmlands, while boar is relentlessly crushing forests and destroying pastures. Studies have found losses of $1,600,000,000 across 13 states, with Texas losing $871 million, 0 cents. Georgia losing $162 million, 0 cents. Oklahoma losing $116 million, 0 cents. Each farm loses $2,415.00 a year, with fields devastated and dreams shattered. Across the border, Canadian farmers are fighting back, trapping hundreds of these beasts with poison and drones. Could their bold tactics inspire American farmers to reclaim their land? The fight is on, and hope is at stake. The battle against wild boars is not for the faint of heart. Canadian farmers have to outsmart these elusive creatures at every turn, and they've learned to use innovative tools and techniques to do so. One of the most effective methods is the corral trap, a large enclosure made from heavy-duty metal panels baited with grains like corn or oats. Once a group of boars enters, remote-controlled gates, often triggered by smartphone apps, snap shut, trapping dozens in a single sweep. Some of these traps are equipped with live feed cameras, allowing farmers to monitor the action in real time and ensure a successful catch. In Saskatchewan, this approach has turned the tide in fields that were once ravaged by boar invasions. But these traps aren't the only weapon in the farmer's arsenal. Box traps, smaller and portable, are used to target individual boars or small groups. With motion sensors and wireless alerts, these traps ping farmers' phones the moment they've caught a boar, enabling swift action under the cover of night. As most boars are nocturnal, farmers have turned to thermal imaging drones and night vision cameras to track their movements. With these high-tech tools, farmers can pinpoint the exact locations of boar sounders and position their traps. Then there's the clever baiting strategy. Farmers use fermented grains, molasses and even fruit to lure boars to trap sites over several days, gradually making them more comfortable with the traps. It's a game of patience and precision, but the rewards are immense. The Judas pig tactic, which involves using GPS-collared boars to betray their kin, has proven a game changer, enabling farmers to track and capture entire sounders with ease. As advanced as the traps are, outwitting wild boars is no easy feat. These animals are not only destructive, they're also incredibly smart. Boars quickly learn to avoid traps after just one encounter, forcing farmers to constantly innovate. New bait types, redesigned trap layouts, and even the use of decoy traps are all part of the strategy to stay one step ahead. Meanwhile, hunting restrictions in places like Ontario have scattered boar sounders, making them even harder to capture. Add to that the vast territories where boars roam, and it becomes clear why the task is so daunting. Canada's 386,000 square mile boreal range spans everything from the dense forests of northern Alberta to the open plains of Manitoba. Monitoring these areas is a monumental task, one that stretches resources thin. Perhaps the most overwhelming challenge, though, is the boar's explosive reproduction. A single sow can give birth to 6 to 12 piglets twice a year, meaning that wild boar populations are growing by up to 9% annually. Without constant intervention, these populations will continue to surge, and soon Canada could face an uncontrolled nationwide crisis. A war is raging amid the dense forests and vast plains of Mississippi. Wild hogs are wild and relentless, destroying crops, ravaging livestock and threatening the very way of life for farmers in Yazoo County. By 2025, 1925, reports from the Mississippi Department of Wildlife, Fisheries and Parks estimated that these invasive monsters had caused more than $2,300,000, 0 cents in damage, statewide, which hit hard for families like mine who have poured their blood and sweat into this land. Hunters can no longer stand by. This is the story of a thrilling hunt, where every second is a fight for survival and every shot carries the weight of a people's future. If this continues, the quality of the crop will be severely reduced. So it was at that time in the cold of a December afternoon that my team of experienced hunters set out on a challenging mission to stop these giant wild boars. The winter chill cut into our hands as we loaded our guns and checked our equipment. The tension was high. Videos from local farmers went viral, herds of wild boars charging through the fields, their hooves tearing up the newly sprouted corn. The hunt began near the Yazoo River, where boar tracks cut across the muddy banks. Armed with high-powered rifles and a few tools, sturdy PVC pipes to help us shoot accurately in tight spaces, we moved quietly into the swampy woods. Ten minutes later, a lone boar, easily 200 pounds, was rummaging through the undergrowth, unaware of our presence. I raised my dot 308, the scope locked onto the boar. A deep breath, a click of the trigger. The beast fell, the first shot of the day a success. What makes hunting in Mississippi unique are the landowner exemptions and access to public land. On private property, like family farms, there are no population limits, allowing hunters to target entire herds without restriction. On public land, hunters must carry a valid hunting license and adhere to the designated hunting seasons for each weapon. But wild hogs are still legal even during bow and arrow or black knuckle shooting seasons. We train to adapt, practicing fast reloads and steady aim in dense brush, where a momentary hesitation could send a 400-pound wild hog hurtling into the brush. Safety was paramount, with Mississippi requiring hunters to wear bright orange vests during overlapping big game seasons to avoid accidents. A rule we practiced until it became second nature. In Mississippi's Yazoo County, people start at a local hardware store, stocking up on essentials like 4-inch PVC pipe to build hog feeders. Back on the farm, hunters drill precise holes in the PVC pipe to create slow-release feeders to lure hogs out of cornfields. Assembling them with chains and eye bolts for durability, they ferment corn with yeast and jello to create irresistible bait, ensuring hogs will flock to the hunter's trap. This preparation turns chaotic hunts into calculated attacks, as seen when they deployed feeders near the Yazoo River, luring a herd of 40 into an ambush where a precise shots took down dozens. As dusk falls, our hunt in Yazoo County ends with dozens of wild hogs down, field saved. But many more lurk, threatening the land. Can we defeat this wild plague? Share your thoughts, sign up to join the next Breathless Manhunt. Join us in the fight against Mississippi's wild hogs.
These approaches have been great at stopping the spread of some invasive species. Got any ideas for even better solutions? Drop your thoughts in the comments so we can all dive into it together. Thanks for sticking around and watching the whole video. If you liked it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And hey, be sure to tell your friends about us too so they can check it out. Bye and see you in the next video.